Welcome to the channel of the Veteran Files, where we uncover the most unbelievable stories of World War II. Stories so strange they sound like legends. And today's story begins with a question that seems impossible. What if entire cities survived the war not because they were defended by guns or soldiers, but because they were hidden by magic during the darkest years of World War II, when Allied cities in North Africa and the Middle East were under constant threat from German bombers, British. Intelligence turned to an ally no one expected, a stage magician named Jasper Maskelyne, a man whose life before the war revolved around illusions, sleight of hand, and theatrical deception, and who would soon apply those same skills to warfare in ways so surreal that even today historians struggle to separate fact from myth. Maskelyne came from a family of famous magicians and believed deeply that illusion was not about tricking the eyes, but about controlling perception, and that belief became the foundation of one of the strangest military units ever assembled, the camouflage section of the British Army, where artists, engineers, architects, and illusionists worked together to mislead the enemy on a massive scale. One of Maskelyne's most famous and controversial contributions was the protection of the port of Alexandria in Egypt, a vital Allied supply hub that German bombers repeatedly targeted. Rather than strengthening defenses alone, Maskelyne proposed something radical, making Alexandria appear somewhere else entirely. His plan involved creating a fake city miles away, complete with false lights, dummy buildings, simulated street grids, and controlled illumination patterns that only activated during air raids. So when German bombers approached at night, they would see what appeared to be a brightly lit port city in the desert and drop their bombs there instead, leaving the real Alexandria untouched in darkness. And according to accounts from the time, the plan worked. Bombs fell harmlessly into empty sand while the real port continued operating. This concept of dazzle and deception extended far beyond cities. Maskelyne and his team used mirrors to reflect sunlight and create false troop concentrations, fake shadows to make tanks appear where there were none, and elaborate lighting rigs to distort distance and depth, confusing enemy pilots and reconnaissance units. One of the most astonishing illusions involved hiding the Suez Canal, one of the most strategically important waterways in the world, by using controlled light arrays along its banks that broke up its recognizable shape from the air, making it nearly invisible to bombers flying at night. Instead of a clear, reflective line cutting through the desert, pilots saw only scattered, meaningless glimmers, and many attacks simply missed their target entirely. The idea that a magician could outthink Luftwaffe pilots seems absurd, but it reveals something profound about war, that technology alone does not guarantee victory. Perception does. Maskelyne understood that pilots relied on visual cues, patterns, and expectations, and if those expectations were disrupted, even the most advanced bomber became nearly useless. Not everyone in the military took him seriously. Many officers saw him as a showman exaggerating his achievements, and debates still rage among historians about how much credit he truly deserves. But what is undeniable is that large-scale deception and illusion became an integral part of Allied strategy, and Maskelyne became its most famous symbol. His work influenced later operations where fake armies, dummy equipment, and visual trickery saved lives without direct combat, and his philosophy echoed throughout Allied deception doctrine. The war itself often seemed to bend toward the surreal, but Maskelyne embraced that fully, believing that if the enemy could be made to doubt their own senses, they could be defeated before a single shot was fired. After the war, he claimed credit for numerous operations, some documented, others disputed, but even skepticism cannot erase the fact that illusion was used on a scale never seen before, transforming deserts into stages and cities into disappearing acts. And perhaps the most unsettling aspect of this story is how fragile reality becomes under pressure. Entire bombing campaigns were redirected not by force, but by carefully arranged lights and shadows, reminding us that World War II was not only a battle of machines and manpower, but a battle of minds, where belief and confusion could be as lethal as bombs. Jasper Maskelyne's story sits at the intersection of history and myth, because it challenges our assumptions about warfare, forcing us to accept that sometimes the most powerful weapon is imagination, and that survival itself can depend on convincing your enemy that what they see is not real. As Allied cities continued functioning, supplies flowed, and lives were saved, all because someone understood how to turn illusion into strategy. And if this story feels unbelievable, that is exactly the point, because the true history of World War II is far stranger than fiction. And if you want to keep uncovering these hidden, surreal, and mind-bending stories of the war, make sure to subscribe to the Veteran Files, like this video, and join us as we continue exploring the secrets history never expected to be told.